afternoon, everybody. And on behalf of Indian Terrain, a very warm welcome to all the students who have qualified through this journey for being the CXO of the year, CEFO of the year, CM of the year, the stars who want to be, who have participated, and for those who have not reached Madras today but who were part of this journey, I congratulate all of them for having participated in this wonderful event, which was thought of and conceived by Business Line. So, at the outset, let me say to Rajiv of Business Line and his colleagues that Indian Terrain is really privileged to have been part of this event. As he was saying, for me, it was a very interesting experience to sit here and listen to so many young minds talk about a business which is a real live issue. It's something we do every day. So many aspects of what many of you brought out are subjects which we debate every day at work. And it was so surreal to sit here and have so many of you touch on so many live issues. That's what I found really remarkable in the manner you've studied the case given to you. Forget the numbers, forget the exactitude of what you were presuming will happen, but just the fact that you've touched on so many sensitive aspects of running a business, of being a CXO, was really really reassuring in the sense of how alive each one of you is to the environment of business in this country, the opportunities that lie ahead of us, and some of the audacious growth numbers that you people threw out, 1,000 crores and 2,000 crores and 4,000 crores. It was just fantastic to hear those numbers. I mean, you would be shocked if you hear the kind of real numbers we talk about in our office. So that is really remarkable, and I hope the CXO here and the COO here of Indian Terrain take back some of the oomph that you guys seem to have generated in this room today. Really wonderful to hear that. So talking about being CXOs, there's an interesting story here, real life, which many of you would just take back as an inspiration. The two people here were CXOs. One is Rajiv here and Charat Narsimhan of Indian Terrain, and Rajiv from Business Line and Hindu. Both of them were actually students, hostel mates in college perhaps 25 years ago, if I'm right. I'm sure they talked about similar numbers and similar realities and went their own way. And then they found each other perhaps after 25 years of this journey, both of them CXOs in their own world. And the minute they talked about this idea, they both felt that this was an event which is worth supporting. And that's because that they went on a quest to be a CXO sometime back in their life. Well, I'm sure they're dreaming of these thousands of crores, but they're still on the journey. And there is something to be, to feel good, to be in a room, in an event, thought of and conceived by two individuals who have in their journey been successful CXOs and are continuing to run and chase their own dreams. So that makes this moment and this event gives it a very realistic feel to those of you who are on this journey and who one day will be such CXOs and shine very bright in the firmament of India's future. So the very term chief, when you say chief executive officer, CXO, chief itself conveys something to all of us. It means you're a leader. It means you're responsible for bringing together aspirations, alignments, responses to challenges of various people. And as the person who spoke before me, the editor of Business Line, as he said, keeping the environment in mind always. That's the job of a chief. And when you are a chief executive officer, it's not just about the knowledge that you gain in a business school. From that knowledge, we all develop strategies, and we all know that if you don't execute properly, you really won't be a chief executive. These are given. These are a given, and it's very clear to me from the presentations you all made that there is an abundance of knowledge that you've all got. All of you know that there is execution involved, and there are various strategies on display here. What I have to tell you, share with you from my experience, is that above these three, there are two things which are absolutely vital for you to keep in mind every day. And that's what the editor of Business Line who spoke before me, I think he's touched on one of the most important issues of being CXOs in the future. There are two things which is overarching these, what you learn, the strategy and the knowledge. One is the environment, and the other is people. Environment is perhaps the single most important thing. All of us who drive a strategy every day, and as a chief operating officer or a chief executive officer, you're so close to the ground. You're so close to your strategy, so absorbed in getting it to where it has to go, that there is very little opportunity for you to step back and see what has changed around you in the environment. And trust me, what changes around you is so small, so minute on a daily basis that you tend to miss it. But if you step back and see it, sometimes you wonder why your strategy didn't work. You step back and see, you will realize often that what you were actually intending to achieve, that entire goalpost has shifted. So that's very, very important, and as he said, you must always keep that in play. The other aspect you should keep in mind, going towards these thousands of crores, is that if the people who are with you as CXOs, if they don't emotionally resonate with your goal, so if they don't march in cadence to your goal, if their hearts don't beat for that, if they don't feel that, listen, I need to get all the ideas, who your customers are going to be, the strategy you're going to adopt, the values that you're going to espouse as you go towards where you want to go. It's not just about reaching a destination, it's about how you reach the destination too. How is your company going to look to the shareholder? The gentleman who's going to give you a war chest of 100 crores, trust me, that 100 crores comes with extraordinary emphasis on integrity, with extraordinary emphasis on the veracity of what you say, on how, of course, you're expected to be aggressive, of course, you're expected to be dynamic in what you promise them, but they're always looking to hear behind and see, what is the integrity of the CXO? What is, how much can I trust him? If you ask private equity people, and since we talk about a war chest of 100 crores, they actually tell me that they do not find enough opportunities to invest in India. They have billions of dollars in funds. They come to India, they're unable to invest, and as one who was eager to relieve them of some of their money, I always used to ask them, so what's the problem? I'm here, right? I mean, I'm asking you for money, why don't you give me some of it? And they would always say that, we don't think you have a team which can deliver on your promise. And as I grew a little more mature and perhaps put a team together, what I heard from them is they felt that there was not enough integrity in the management teams around CXO's promises, where they will be able to trust the money that they have to invest, because they are accountable for that 100 crores. And all they know is you, the CXO. They don't know anybody else. You have an idea, you have an individual, and you have a promise. And they go and put the money there, only believing and trusting that you will deliver. So that aspect of being a CXO is extremely important. And as you all go towards this wonderful place, keep this in mind: the environment and the people. Both of them are overarching. As long as your play of your strategy and the way you execute, the velocity, the speed, the quality of thought process that you bring, if all that is fine, you will all have it. But keep in mind these two elements, and keep always anchored deep in the heart of your strategy. And if people are not going to march with you, or however brilliant a CXO you are, however fascinating your strategy may be, whether you have a war chest of 100 crores or 1,000 crores, one day it will run out, and you may not have achieved what you set out to achieve. So as yet, if there's anything that I can share with you all as experience, that would be what I would wish you all to take away. And if you do that, I'm absolutely sure that as you go forward into life and build on, for those of you who presented, I must say each one of you were remarkable. There was something wonderful. There was an insight for me to take away in every presentation, whether it was the breaking up the brands into 3 offerings, what do we do on the digital strategy, connecting with students and connecting with college level professionals. I mean, there were so many different ideas. Each one of them was excellent. Every one of you have done a remarkable job in researching before you came here. So it was it was a wonderful morning spent with you all. Thank you all very much. I know the winner, all of you are waiting to know who has won. I honestly asked Charat, who a particular team was, and he said he doesn't know. And I thought that was remarkable. I mean, and that's the way it should be. So even I'm waiting to see whether my guess was right or not. And if my guess was wrong, then you know that the 100 crores of mine, which I spent, gone mainly wrong. I'm still hanging around, and I'll blame Charat for it. So thank you all very much. Thank you, Rajiv. Thanks all of you from Business Line. Thanks for all of those who helped execute this, and to the jury. Thank you, and all the best.